Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Topica. My name is Christian, and I'm going to be your teacher today. Okay, in today's lesson, we're learning about should everyone own a private vehicle? Okay, so this is an important problem in today's world. Obviously, it can cause pollution, and it can be bad for the environment. And obviously, it's expensive to use a lot of fuel, petrol. Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. So it looks like it's just you today, Nya. So I'm going to introduce myself and then you can. So my name is Christian. I come from London in England and I currently live in Da Nang City in central Vietnam and I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher for Topica, obviously. So I'm going to ask you, Nya, can you introduce yourself to me, please?
Good afternoon, teachers. My name is. Now I'm living in Hanoi. I am 30 years. I have a family and have a son.
Okay, you have a family and a son?
Yes.
How old's your son?
It's about nearly 2 years.
2 years old. Oh, very young.
Yeah.
Very young. Okay, okay, now, so we're going to talk about today whether we should own a private vehicle. And I'm going to ask you, what means of transportation do you use the most? And can you name some benefits of your transportation?
Yeah. Now I usually use my motorbike uh, to go somewhere or to go to work. Um, I think in Vietnamese because the 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 tra- the roads is very narrow. Your motorbike is easy for you to manage when in the traffic jam. I think that's and I think I only have enough money to use motorbike. It is safe. It is very safe for safe petrol.
Yeah, so you could say it is definitely cheaper to drive a motorbike instead of
Yeah.
a car. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, definitely. Okay, thank you, Nya, and nice to meet you. So we're going to
Yeah.
move on to you, please. Is it Dao? Hello, Dao?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. For me, I use more. Yes.
Okay, so can you introduce yourself first for me, please?
Um, for me, not every day. I usually use motorcycle for office,
Uh-huh.
and I think some riding a motorcycle have some benefits. It's like riding motorcycle can save much of time, especially in the rush hour and in the congested road. There are many cars to go along the street, so it is possible to use the motorcycle and make the travel easier. And moreover, riding a motorcycle is exciting and more comfortable in the small road or
Yeah.
especially the small lane. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, excellent. Okay, so yeah, excellent. So yeah, it's definitely more comfortable and you can save time. It's much easier to drive in Vietnam on a motorbike, I think, much quicker. So you said you could save, it can save much time. I think actually, perhaps a better way of saying this actually, Dal, would be it can save a lot of time. To say much time, it's quite uncommon to say much time in the English language. So perhaps it's better to say it can save a lot of time. Okay?
Yes, I see.
Yeah. So you say a lot of, it means much. So a large amount. So you say a lot of, it means the same as much, but it's much more common. So you could say riding a motorbike saves a lot of money, which means it saves you much money, if you like. To say much before a noun, it's uncommon. Okay. Okay, excellent. Anyway, okay, yeah. Sorry to try and correct your grammar so early. There's only 2 students here today, so I'm going to correct you as we go. It's going to be great for you guys because we're going to have a lot more time today. Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to watch a quick video, and I'm going to ask you the questions. Do you own a private car? And if you do, what are the positives and negatives of owning a car? And especially for you guys, why do you want to own a car, and why? And why or why not? Okay, so we're going to watch this video.
A 9-day traffic jam in China is now more than 100 kilometers long and could last for weeks, state media reported Monday. Thousands of trucks en route to Beijing from Huaiyin in the southeast have been backed up since August 14, making the National Expressway 100 impassable, Xinhua News reported. A spokesman for the Beijing Traffic Management Bureau reportedly told China's Global Times newspaper that the backup was due to insufficient traffic capacity caused by maintenance construction. The construction is scheduled to last until September 13.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you got to watch that or not, Tao. So I'm going to ask you now. What are some positives and negatives of owning a car?
I think the positive when you are owning a car is easy for you to manage when you go out with all the family, or you go out with a quite long distance, and it's easy for you to go to work if the distance from your home to office is quite long. And sometimes can you can organize for all the family to go out for vacation with quite a long distance. And I think the negative when owning a car is owning a car is very expensive. Very expensive. You will spend much money to buy the patrons for the cars, and you have to spend money for some fees to own a cars. And in Vietnam, I think the roads is very narrow, so it's difficult for you to manage when in the traffic jams, or you difficult to find a suitable place to park. I think I only think that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, that's a good argument. Yeah. So when it comes to actually parking a car in Vietnam,
Yeah.
everywhere is designed for bikes. You wouldn't drive into the side of the road next to a load of bikes. It'll be crazy. It's dangerous. Yeah, I agree. Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you, Nya. And we're going to move on to you, Tao.
Yes.
What are some positives and negatives of owning a car?
Yes, there are some positives of owning a private car in large cities. And first, a car allows one person to move freely. And with a car, there is no need to wait for the bus in the cold and under the burning sun. And thus, a car makes it easier and more comfortable to travel, especially with their families or their friends for a vacation to somewhere. And one person can use his car to set out the time whenever he likes. And how, on the other hand, there are some advantages in owning a private car. And first, it may cause more traffic jam if the road condition cannot be improved. And more cars will result in more serious pollution. Finally, parking will be a problem because there is not much space left in large cities. I think like that.
Excellent, yeah. Yeah, okay, excellent, brilliant. I really liked the way you just said there, Tao. You said, on the other hand, I think this is brilliant to use in conversation. So perhaps we can use, you should really use that more. It's very, very effective. So, yeah, if you don't know this already, when you say on the other hand, it is when you give a different argument. So what Tao just said then was, there are some positives of owning a car, and then you can say, on the other hand, there are some negatives. So it gives two different views. Yeah, it's excellent. Okay, brilliant. Excellent way to link ideas and really useful in conversation. So fantastic. Okay, brilliant. Okay, we're going to move on now, guys. I'm going to try and teach you some new phrases and vocabulary right now. So we have the words get in, get out, pollutants, environmental, ownership, and registration. I've just noticed an error there. Okay, so I'm just going to correct this because I've only just noticed this. So environmental, I'm pretty sure it is an adjective. Okay, so environmental is actually a adjective. So I'm going to write this in. So try and remember this is an adjective. Okay, so I'm going to ask you now, can you tell me what you think get in means?
Get in it means that you enter in the place.
Yeah, so you enter somewhere or something. Yeah, so can you create a sentence for me, please?
Get in.
So,
yeah. Tomorrow I will get in a new restaurant. From my family, from my friends, or owing my friends.
Yeah, okay, that's almost correct. So when you say you'd probably say you'd probably say I'd go to a restaurant instead. You'd usually say get in.
Yeah.
Go to the restaurant. I think for get in, it would be talking about say you want someone to get inside, so you could say get in the house. So yes. Get in the house, or you could say get in the car. If you are outside a restaurant, for example, you could say shall get in the restaurant. Or you can say past tense, or I got in the restaurant, which means I got there. However, it's a tricky one. For you'd usually, because we're talking about vehicles, and you would say you would get in a car. So, for example, this is very common. You say, let's all get into the car, or you would say, let's all get in the car, okay? Okay, yeah. So it's usually when we give an order, okay? So we tell someone to do something. Okay, yeah. So following that, can you tell me what "get out" means, Tao? So I guess you can make a good guess here about what "get out" means. Hello, Tao? Okay, so now maybe you can tell me what "get out" means.
I think get out is go out, somewhere or something.
Yeah, excellent. So you could say like leave somewhere or something. Yeah, so when you get out or you leave somewhere. So you can say I'm gonna get out of the car now, or for example, or it's time to get out of my apartment. It's time to get out of the house. Okay, yeah, excellent. Okay, okay, Tao, can you hear me? Hello, Tao? Okay, maybe you're having problems with your microphone. I can't hear you. So we'll move back to you now. Yes, yeah, so maybe you can help me with pollutant.
Pollutant. I think the toxic is toxic in the air or in the water.
Yeah. Anyway, something in the air, water, yeah, like the soil, so the ground.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, but pollutes. Yeah, so when something is polluted, it means it is damaged or it's became unnatural. Okay, so a river can become polluted when it gets very dirty and a lot of rubbish and waste goes into a river, for example. Okay, yeah, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to ask you again. Can you create a sentence for me, please? Using the adjective pollutant.
Nowadays, Chinese is pollutant in the air.
Yeah, so you could say the Chinese are releasing you can say pollutants into the air. So yeah, sorry, this isn't actually an adjective. I just realised it says adjective. So I apologise for this. It's actually, so you can say there are pollutants in the air. So you can say this chemical is a pollutant, for example. So you say this chemical is a pollutant. So a pollutant. I know it says adjective there. I apologise again. This is actually a noun. Okay. Yeah. So I apologise for this. So yeah, it's just a noun. So I'll change this. Very difficult. So yeah. Okay, Tao, can you hear me? Tao has completely left the conversation. I'm going to message you, Tao. Perhaps I can get some assistance for you. Okay, now we will. Can we talk? Can you tell me what environmental means? Hello, Tao. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah. Tao, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Speak.
Yes, I can.
I can hear you. Okay, cool. So, Tao, can you tell me what environmental means? She's run away. Okay, now, just you and me. Can you tell me what environmental means, please?
Environmental is air, the water, soil, or the place, some around you.
Yeah, so it's sort of like so it's the it's like you could say, oh, yeah, it's quite tricky actually. Yeah, so you could say yeah, the air, the water, it's like all surrounding. You could say all surrounding
Also, matter.
around you. So all surrounding matter around you. So it can be anything. So environmental, it can it's talking about mainly nature, so the environment, but it can also be talking about sort of like the room you are in. So, but when we use environmental as an adjective, we can describe something based on its environment. So we can say the environmental nature of this problem, for example. You can say pollution is an environmental problem. Yeah, maybe you can try and create a sentence of your own, yeah?
Yeah, environmental soil, environmental water needs to be protected.
So environmental
Yeah.
water. So you can say, you say, so you said environmental water needs to be protected. Actually, perhaps a better way of saying that is the environment's water. So we've used a noun there. So we say the environment's water needs to be protected. Yeah, to use environmental, it's kind of difficult. You need to use it in front of a noun. So environmental water. We usually use environmental when we're talking about something quite big. So we could say, for example, cars cause environmental problems. Okay. It's quite an unusual word, so it's quite uncommon. We'd usually just say the environment. So cars cause problems to for the environment, for example. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about environmental. It's quite a tricky word. Okay, I'm going to move on to you, please, Tao.
Yes, you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right.
Okay, I think. So can you tell me what ownership means?
Ownership. Yes. Ownership means the fact of owning something.
Excellent. Yeah, the fact of owning something.
Yes. And in my sentence, he has taken ownership for what he had done.
Yeah, so he has taken ownership
for what he had done.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, that's a good sentence. The grammar's okay. Perhaps yes, ownership. It usually refers to something quite concrete. So how do I explain this? So ownership is when you own something which is quite physical. So it's not abstract. When you would say he has taken ownership for what he has done, perhaps a better way of saying this is he has taken responsibility for what he has done, because I think you are talking about something like he has caused a problem. Is that right?
Okay.
So you would use the word ownership for when we own items. So when you own a car, I have ownership over my car, or I have ownership over my vehicle or my house, for example. So it usually means something physical. So I have ownership over my property, or I have ownership over all of my clothes and everything I own. Okay.
Yes, I see. Workers, can you give me the information on ownership? Ownership is owning something, just something mean something you can see physically. Example, a set, a property, or a car, or something like that.
Yeah.
However, ownership for your mind, is it right? For your mind, for the
Ownership.
spirit.
Yeah, I guess it's not incorrect, Tal. I'm not saying it's incorrect. I thought that when you said he has taken ownership for what he has done, um, that particular sentence is unusual. Perhaps the best way to describe it, you would usually say he has taken responsibility for what he has done. So he is responsible for what he has done. Okay, so I'm writing this. So when you take ownership for something, perhaps you could say he has taken ownership over. You can say he has taken ownership over. You can say the sentence he owns his mind. For example, you own your own mind. But really, when you own something or you take ownership, yeah, I would say it's more physical. It's usually something physical as opposed to abstract. So when I say abstract, I'm talking about things that are, abstract nouns like your mind or love or your feelings, things that aren't physical. So you usually don't use ownership for when you refer to these abstract nouns, okay?
It means it's not right for describe the ownership for spirit. Not right.
Ownership for the students. You can say I have ownership over. You can say is used physical term items. Yeah, but not spiritual. I would say physical and not abstract. So what you have is you have physical nouns and abstract nouns. So abstract nouns are things like your mind and love, emotion, feeling, things like this.
Okay, I got it. Yes.
Okay, so physical things would be like your car, your bike, your house, your clothes, everything else. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're going to move on to you now. Can you just finish up with registration for me, please?
Registrations, it means you recording a name or information on the official.
Yeah, so you'll be recording information for official purposes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So can you create a sentence for me, please?
You need to take registrations before owning a private car.
Excellent. So you need to have a registration before owning a private car. Excellent. Okay, great work, guys. So we've learned some new words. We're going to also learn some new phrases here and some idioms actually. So we have to beat the traffic, which means to leave somewhere earlier than others in order to avoid the traffic at the peak times of the day. You also have the phrase in the driver's seat, which usually means you are in control of the situation. If there's a group of you and you are in the driver's seat, it usually means you are the leader. Okay, you are controlling what's happening. Okay, so perhaps Nya, can you try and create a phrase using in the driver's seat for me, please?
Sorry, you need me to make sentence with one or two idioms.
So this one here.
In the driver's seat. Yesterday I um sorry, it's very difficult for me.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
perhaps I can help you. So you can say, yesterday at work, I had to I was in the driver's seat, which would mean yesterday. So you can say my friend is in. If you are in the driver's seat, it means you are taking control. So, for example, I could say I am in the driver's seat of this lesson, which means I am in control of this lesson. As a teacher, I am in the driver's seat. Okay, it basically means it literally means when you're driving a car. So if you're in the driver's seat, you are in control. Okay, if you're sitting in the seat where you can drive, you control that whole car. So when you use this phrase and use it in outside of the literal sense, you are talking about just being in control of anything. So you could say, I am in the driver's seat in this situation. So so you could say if a doctor comes in an emergency, he will be in the driver's seat, for example. Okay? Does that make sense for you now? Do you understand?
A little bit. Yeah. As you stated in the right seat, that's you are driving a car. You are driving a car. Yeah. As Thảo said, that I mean in charge of something or be responsible for something.
Yeah, it means yeah, to be in charge or be responsible. So when you are in the driver's seat, it means if someone's to say you are in the driver's seat right now, it means you are in charge. Okay. So if your boss comes to you in a company and you have a lot of people working around you, and your boss comes to you and says, right, yeah, you take the driver's seat. This will mean that you are in charge of everyone around you, okay?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like you are in charge now. This is your job. You are in control. So if someone says take the driver's seat, or I'm putting you in the driver's seat, okay? Okay, excellent. So I'm going to ask you, Tao, can you try and create a sentence for me using to beat the traffic?
My cousin works on the other side of the town, and she leaves at 6 a.m. to beat the traffic.
Excellent, yeah. So I need to get to the other side of the town. So I'm going to leave at 6 a.m. to beat the traffic. Okay, excellent. Okay, perfect. Okay, excellent. Kind of tricky, these ones, guys, especially in the driver's seat. I would say it's quite uncommon, but it is used, but quite uncommon. So again, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay, but yeah, quite tricky. So well done. Okay, so we're learning the grammar structure here using in spite of or despite. Okay, and then we use a noun, a pronoun, a verb with ing, and then a subject and a verb. Okay, it sounds quite complicated, but it's not. So we have another example. In spite of the fact, despite the fact that, a subject, verb, subject to, and verb to. Okay, so basically, we use this phrase in this example sentence here. This will be clear. So you would say, in spite of the fact that cars cause environmental problems, many people want to own a private one. So okay, we use in spite of the fact that, when we talk about something, but even though it has happened, people still do it. Okay, so you say you would say for example, you could say, for example, in spite of the fact I am learning English every day, it is still taking me a long time to learn. Okay, so that's an example. So in spite of the fact that I leave very early at work to go to work, it still takes me a long time, or I still get there late every day, or in spite of the fact I exercise every day, I'm still not very healthy, for example. It's when you say something, but say, even though this happens, even though I'm doing this, or this has happened, there is still this issue. There is still something else that's happening. Okay. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Perhaps you can use these examples down here. So we have like, you could say, in spite of the fact cars are expensive, people still want to buy them. Or in spite of the fact people don't have any money, people still want to own a car. So yeah, I'm going to ask you, Nya, can you create a sentence for me using this grammar structure?
No. In spite of the fact the registration fees is very high, many people want to buy a car.
Excellent, yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, moving on to you, Tao.
Yes. In spite of more congested road, the government don't want to build more roads.
Okay, yeah, so in spite of the more congested roads, the government still does not want to build more roads. Okay, excellent. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on now, guys. We're going to learn, we're going to get to practice what we've learned. So we have two student roles here. Student A, you are a parent, and your son wants to use his family deposit to buy a new luxury car. You agree, but your partner or your spouse doesn't agree. So you need to talk to your partner and try and give your reasons for why you want to own a car and buy a car. Okay, and student B, you are the other parent, and your son wants to buy the car as well. You disagree. Okay. Okay, so you need to. So you two have to pretend that you're perhaps like husband and wife, or wife and wife, or whatever you want to do. So you need to talk about whether you should buy your son a car or not. So Nya, can you be student A for me, please? And you agree that your son should buy a car, and Pao, can you be student B?
Yeah.
Sorry, worker. Student A and student B is the same, not different.
Yeah, no.
Student
Agree.
is a conversation. Yes.
Student A, you want to buy a car for your son, and student B, you don't want to buy a car for your son. So Tao, you actually disagree about buying a car, and Nya, you agree. So if I'll point it out to you here, so you see, you agree, but your spouse doesn't, and this says your spouse agrees, but you don't. Okay. So basically, student A agrees and this disagrees. Okay.
Nga.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Nga.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I am student A and you student B. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
Oh, okay, okay.
You agree and I disagree.
Yes. Okay. House. My son want to change
Difficult stuff.
this. Yeah. I going to talk first. Okay. House. Yesterday, my son told me that he want to change his car. He want to buy a luxury car, and I think I agree with him. And you?
You are agree with him to
Yeah, yeah. He want to change his old car to buy a luxury car.
yes, tell me. Okay. Tell me what reason make him to change on cars. You know the on cars. You can take advantage it to go anywhere, and it let you save a lot of money.
Because he said that his car is very old. Sometimes he have to repair it, and it spend him a lot of money. So he want to buy another car, and he want to buy a luxury car. And follow him, he said that the luxury car is very inconvenient, and he don't need to repair it usually. So it's in it, and I think the luxury and he think that the luxury car spend a little bit petrol, so it is economic, and I think he said that it is and I think he said that and I agree his opinion, and I think we should give him some money from our family deposit to buy a new luxury car for him. And you do you agree?
Okay. For at this time, our family have a small budget for to pay something, and I think you can see another time to buy it, because at this time our family not having enough money to buy a luxury car. But you can also buy a normal car or ordinary car. Take a little money, little more money. You can understand me.
I that checks my family deposits. I think we have enough money for him, and I think the luxury car is more safer than the original car. Yeah, it's more safer and it is more convenient.
Yes, I know you, and your son really like to own a new car. But at this time, I think it's difficult because we have to pay many living expense for our family, and I think in the near future, 1 or 3 months or 4 months, something like that. And we can save a lot of money than we can buy for them.
Yeah, if you say that, I think we should tell with my son, with our son about that. We will give him about 60% for the 60% money of to buy a car, and he will have work to earn 40% for the luxury car as he want. Okay, do you agree?
Yes, exactly. We need more time to save lot of money, and that's also to pay enough for a car and for other things.
Yeah. Okay. We will tell him about about our son. Yeah, and persuade him to agree with us. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, excellent. Okay, it was a nice conversation there. So brilliant. We had a discussion about the advantages and disadvantages of buying cars, which is fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to talk to you briefly about what I've learned from listening to you this lesson. I think overall it's actually very, very good today. Yeah, I'm going to start with you. For your pronunciation, the only thing I noticed was your pronunciation of think. It's almost perfect, almost. But just make sure it doesn't sound like the word tink. I know a lot of this is a problem, a big problem for Vietnamese learners. The th sound, so think. Really be clear with the think, and make sure you don't sound like tink. I think that. I think that. I think that we should. I think that it should be. I think that. Okay. I think that. Okay. So be really clear. So pronunciation is very good overall. Vocabulary is used fantastic today. I did suggest to you perhaps using the word responsibility. I think for both of you. I'm not too sure whether you know it already. So there's the sentence where he talked about it'd be I'm responsible for my own actions, or I'm responsible for what I've done. We're going to have a look at the grammar. So yeah, at one point you said it's easy for you when you go out. You should say it is easy for you when you go out. So make sure you say it is easy. You said from your home. You said when you was driving, you said from your home to the, or you said from your home to office. You should say from your home to the, or your office. Okay. So make sure we just have these words in front of the noun here. So you need to, because there's only just one office, you need to say a office or the office or your office. Okay. So just be clear there. I think your grammar is very good today. I usually write a lot more, but it's almost perfect today. So fantastic. Again, Tao, I didn't pick up on anything. Your pronunciation was fantastic. Vocabulary was great. I'm going to put responsible there as well. Perhaps you know this already, but it could be nice to try and incorporate it into your language a lot more. So try and use it a lot more. Your grammar, you said it can save much time. You should say it can save a lot of time. Much time, you can use much before nouns. You can use much before nouns, but for this particular case, much time. It sounds unusual. It's not very common to say much time, unless you was to say. You can say, for example, I haven't got a lot of time left, or I haven't got much time left. But to say it can save much time, it's just it's just unusual. Okay, so I prefer to use a lot of. It makes more sense. It doesn't sound so unusual. Okay, it's not. I wouldn't say it's incorrect, but it does sound. It doesn't sound like how a native speaker would say it. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Okay. Anyway, you said he has taken ownership for what he has done. So this is where we need the word responsibility. So you'd say he has taken responsibility for what he has done. Responsibility is more appropriate for when we're talking about something which is abstract. Okay, so when we say he has taken responsibility for what he has done, we are talking about his actions. When we talk about actions and verbs, these are more abstract. So we talk about ownership when you actually physically own something, like I own my phone or I own my car. Okay, so yeah, just be careful. It's quite an unusual and quite a complicated set of rules here, but hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, you also said you are agree with him. You should say you can just say you agree with him, or do you agree with him? You shouldn't say you are agree with him, so you say do you agree with him. You also said tell what. Okay, so you said tell what reason make him want change old car. So there's a lot of words you are missing here. So you need to use the words tell him you should say, sorry, you can say, tell me what is the reason that makes, with an S, him want to change his old car. Okay, so everything I put in brackets, these are the words you missed out in this grammar structure. So just trying to remember using these prerequisite words. So the words are necessary to become to make this grammar structure correct. Okay,